Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Alex. As he mentioned today, we will be going over remote operations and flight planning with the Dock 2 system. My name is Ryan. I am the Senior Enterprise Consultant here for Public Safety and Inspection. My contact information is listed there below, so feel free to reach out with any questions or topics that I don't address today with the Dock 2. But kind of to jump into it here, with the Dock 2 system, it's going to be compatible with the new M3D and M3TD aircraft, which are going to be very similar payloads that we'll see with the Mavic 3 series, the Mavic 3E and the Mavic 3T. So it will have a thermal option as well as a photogrammetry based option. And today we're looking at how to actually execute those flight missions. So the Flight Hub 2 app is going to be the default app that we use with that Flight Hub 2 software. And within that application, we're able to do a lot of different tasks, and one of which is going to be actually executing the flight plan and the tasks that we have planned. So to create a flight plan, the first thing we're going to do is hop in the Flight Hub 2 software and press the plus icon in the top right. And then we're going to be able to set those flight parameters. So there's a couple ways that we're able to set these flight parameters. We're able to do the same style missions as we see in the Pilot 2 app, the waypoint, or the mapping linear is to be added here soon. But the primary flight modes, missions, I should say, are going to be the waypoint and the mapping. So when we do a mapping or a waypoint mission, we'll be able to plan it directly through the Flight Hub 2 app. With the waypoint, we'll actually be able to fly a virtual aircraft and position the camera using keystroke commands. So as we see there in the bottom right, it shows how it's giving us a simulated camera view of what we would be seeing if we were flying that. So we use that camera to actually position the aircraft within the Flight Hub 2 app to select the topic or the area of interest. Now the flight plan is going to be something that's kind of the base of the dock operation. So you need to have a flight plan in the Flight Hub 2 already planned to be able to then plan a task, which we'll get to. So once we get in, once we finalize that flight plan, the next is going to be to go into our task plan library. So within our task plan library, we're able to actually initialize the flights and schedule them to be completed on a routine basis. So if it's a flight plan that you are looking to be able to run indefinitely, and you want it to basically land, charge, and fire back up, that's going to be an option that will create within the actual task plan library. And so on this page, we see there at the top left, it says create plan. Once we create plan, what we're going to do is we're actually going to bind that to one of our flight plans that we had initially done in the first step. So within your flight plans, you may have 10, 20 different operations that you're looking to do. The task plan library is where we're actually going to go to initialize and schedule these flights to go out. Once we do select which flight plan we want to initialize for the specific task, we're going to select the dock of interest to be able to actually carry out that plan. So this is where if you did have multiple docks set up, you could set different tasks for that, or different, you could set up different tasks that would complete different flight plans at different times, as well as be able to launch a flight remotely. And so in the interface on the Flight Hub 2 app, we are going to see a couple options for viewing the camera on both the dock, on the aircraft, and then being able to do the remote debugging. So the remote debugging is going to be where we're able to do different actions, open the dock, charge the aircraft, initialize the AC heating unit remotely. You're also able to do so on site. So the on-site debugging is going to be referred to when we are on site with the dock. We're plugged in using the RC Plus, and we're initializing different tasks for it to do while on site. When you're off site, it's going to be called remote debugging, in which the actions panel there is going to toggle you into the remote debugging site here, where we're then able to restart the aircraft, enable the 4G dongle, charge the battery, close the dock, do whatever we'd like to do. And then what we're also going to see is the full configuration on the amount of flights, the satellites it's connected to, kind of the status of the dock remotely. So we will see there the wind speed using the wind gauge on top. We will see existing weather conditions and so forth. Now with that aircraft, we're going to get that same data. We're going to see what mode it's in, how many flights it's on, the battery level, RTK connection, all that as well as the option of doing a remote debugging on the aircraft as well. So one video that we have shared with you today is kind of the additional features that we see in the Flight Hub 2 app. And so one of the features that the Dock 2 has is live mapping feature. So if you were on a public safety mission where you needed to figure out, maybe you did find the person of interest and you were trying to find a way into them, then you could actually utilize the Dock or the Flight Hub 2 app to do a live mapping feature where they're able to get an updated map to find the easiest route into them. From this page, we're also able to use the annotations tool. So what you see here is they're marking areas of interest such as different obstacles, towers, land points that their team is able to then use on their mission and to recover the subject. But the annotation tool can be used for a lot of different ways. You can use it to, as you see here, to actually draw a line remotely for then your pilot to fly directly along. And so in the example here in the video, they are using the M30T aircraft, although these features are going to be available on any device that's compatible with the Flight Hub 2. Now, another big use of the annotations tool is marking out different areas. So if you are doing a multi system search, so if you have multiple drones up in the air at the same time and you want to kind of organize your search area, then using the annotations tool to mark out different search areas for your pilots, they'll be able to see that in real time through either their remote controller or through the Dock 2 and be able to focus their search within that search area, knowing that they have other people on the job looking in other search areas. But this is one of the bigger tools that we see used here in the Flight Hub 2 app, being able to actually organize a larger scale search and rescue operation. But we wanted to leave some time for questions since I know this is kind of just an intro to our Dock 2 here. And I also want to point out that we do have a Dock 2 system here in our showroom. So I want to encourage anyone that was interested in seeing it in real time or seeing it up close and personal, please reach out and we can get that set up for you, either a virtual demo or a walk-in demo here in our showroom. But do we have any questions about what we have addressed today?
Hey Ryan, yes, I see we have a couple questions coming up. Can you use the Flight Hub 2 with a Dock 2 operation and a mobile unit such as an M30 or M30T, or maybe even the Mavic 3 Enterprise series drone?
Yep. So the newest drones, the M350, the M30T, M3E, as well as the Dock 2, all going to work with the Flight Hub 2 app in collaboration, where you're able to, as we kind of saw in the video, then mark out the different search areas. So if you did have, say, two or three different guys on scene that were also flying just pulling out the Mavic or Matrice from their backpack to be able to help with the operation, you're able to integrate them into your existing project in Flight Hub 2 to set up different search areas for them, and also be able to get those live feeds all through the Flight Hub 2 app. So that way, from your command center, you're able to gather data and information a lot more efficiently.
Perfect. I see we have two more questions. What is the best technique for organizing the search area when using multiple drones?
So when you're using the multiple drone search, then designating the different areas of interest. And so one part of the video that I didn't point out is that they were able to locate this subject from a ping on a cell tower, in which that was the only information they knew about the last known location for their subject. So in this example that we had shown you, they had a very large search area in which they were using the data from the cell tower that they knew he was closest to then set up different search areas that were, of depending on the amount of pilots you have will depend on the amount of size, the size of that search area. The smaller the search area, obviously, the quicker you're going to be able to cover that, and the quicker you'll be able to find your subject. So I think it's going to break down to the amount of systems you have on scene and trying to be as efficient as possible and actually marking out using the annotations tool the different search areas that you're able to cover.
Awesome. Last question. Can you plan multi-docked flight plans?
So with the multi-dock flight plan, it is something that they have recently integrated. We do plan on having another webinar or another, at least another video that covers this specifically, because yes, you can actually have it set up where you have two or three or multiple docks working together, and the aircrafts are able to actually land on at the different locations to charge and upload any data that they have stored. So that is a topic that we want to tackle in its own video. But the short answer to that is yes.
Perfect. I think that wraps it up. Let me double check. Yeah, I think that's it for questions.
Thanks everyone again for joining us. And again, please reach out with any additional questions you may have on topics that we did not cover, or if you wanted to set up a time to either see a remote demo or a live demo of the Dock 2 system.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for attending, and we'll hope to catch you in the next webinar.